The Magi, according to the story that circulates frequently this time of year, the Magi made their way to Bethlehem guided by a star of wonder. Ever since, Unitarians have been trying to diminish that wonder by explaining it away scientifically. Some astronomical activity surely took place that coincided with the birth of Jesus, if that birth really took place in the first time. But wonder is not a mystery to be solved. Wonder is not like a whodunit murder, where at the end you finally get to the truth of the matter. As unsettling as it may be to the rational mind, there are mysteries, splashes of wonder, that do not conceal a truth that needs resolving like a riddle. Imagine a situation whereby the truth of the matter is itself a mystery. No matter how much you study it, examine it, scrutinize it under the lens of science, you don't solve the mystery, you live with it. Ralph Waldo Emerson felt pretty comfortable living with wonder. If stars should appear one night in 1,000 years, he wrote, how men would believe and adore and preserve for many generations the remembrance of the city of God which had been shown. But every night come out these envoys of beauty and light the universe with their admonishing smile. It was not until I moved to Utah that I had an inkling of what Emerson may have meant. In the first autumn of my ministry here, 1987, I found myself driving a 15-passenger van to the Nevada test site. Judy Lord and I were the only ones not arrested during the protest, which was a good thing since somebody had to drive all the way to Tonopah, Nevada to pick up our fellow church members who crossed the line, were arrested, and were processed up in Tonopah. So on the way, we got to talking about light pollution, especially in the East, where I'm from. And she asked me, Tom, have you ever seen the night sky? What do you ever mean, I asked. I mean, I go out a lot at night and there's the sky above, so, yeah, I guess so. So she made me pull over, to get out of the car and look up. Wonder is powerful stuff. It can clobber you sideways. It was as though the sky had a bad case of chickenpox. So many stars, I could hardly see the sky. I was staggered as though intoxicated by splendor. My favorite definition of wonder is a splendor that cannot be named. A splendor that cannot be named. I had the same feeling when my daughter's 4th grade class had an outing one night up at the parking lot by Little Mountain. And a bunch of telescopes were set up and real astronomers were there to bring wonder a little closer to us. Seeing Saturn through a telescope so colorful and brightly lit rings gave me chills. But then I was instructed to look into another telescope and was asked to identify that bit of haze up there a little bit to the left. I see it, I said. And the reply was, well, that's Andromeda, a whole other galaxy next door. My dear friend Robert Fulghum, who has spoken from this pulpit on several occasions, took a course once on celestial navigation. He does these weird things from time to time. He fumbled with a sextant, muttered some formulas, juggled some numbers with the task of locating himself on the face of the earth by relating to the stars. His first attempt placed him 12 miles east of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The second time round, he was standing in the water about 200 miles out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. He remarks, "I'll find out where I am yet. I'd like to know where I am. I've spent too much time worrying about where I'm going." He concludes with the following poignant observation. People have been staring at the stars and reading messages in them for a long time. People have been laying this life alongside some other life up there, asking, who are we anyhow? Where are we headed after all? What's it all about? We keep asking like it might be important to know. And the stars? Well, stars don't say much of anything at all. Now, I'm sure most of us were made aware earlier just this week that astronomers have taken the measure of the biggest, baddest black hole yet found in the universe. It's a black hole that's more than 10 times the size of our solar system and has swallowed billions of stars, violent quasars, the young galaxies that dominated the early years of the universe. The gravity is so intense that not even light can escape. And so I just imagine this, and in go galaxies and stars and quasars into this black hole. Scientists don't have a clue how black holes got so big. But they can measure them, and they're filled with wonder. So even the universe is uncertain. You never know when you might be swallowed up by a black hole. And yet we gaze upon a mere infinitesimal fraction of it all and feel what is termed cosmic mediocrity. In other words, how can we not help feel but insignificant in a night sky, perceived merely by the naked eye? Are we not chastened by our smallness and thus struggle to find some semblance of security and meaning? And so religion began. It began as a method by which to approach these eminently human considerations about what we're doing on this earth and what it's supposed to mean when you look up with wonder all that life around and above us. We suffer from the same ailment today as what afflicted the first peoples on this planet, cosmic mediocrity. But religion, at least the traditional religions, may have made a huge but understandable mistake. They looked upon the mysteries and pretended that an answer, they pretended that a revelation, pretended that a truth existed to explain the awesome majesty that there is, as though solving the latest murder mystery. As a truth that gets to the bottom of it all. So doctrines were established to teach the truth, and rituals were formed to feel the truth. The truth about who the architect of the heavens and earth really is, and that he, imagine attributing a pronoun to this, that he cares about us. And life is made meaningful by simply living according to his word. Well, so much for cosmic mediocrity. Given the option between certainty and meaning, or uncertainty and meaninglessness, the former triumphs again and again. Religion just takes over the truth about the universe. Now, I believe we paid a heavy price for religion's insistence that supernatural law takes precedence over natural law. To believe that it is our divine right to have dominion over the earth entitles us then to exploit all of earth's gifts for selfish needs. Our alienation from the natural world deprives us of a real intimacy with the natural splendor that graces our life and which, in fact, has given us life in the first place. To be clear, I am not talking about nature worship, as much as I'm trying to get a better and clearer understanding of just who do we think we are as we plunder the earth with indifference for our own personal gain. Who do we think we are? We are now feeling the consequences of theologies that have inflated the significance of human beings over and above the rest of nature, and the theologies that claim divine interaction will intercede when anything threatening lies on the horizon. It is as though this huge arm reaches down from the heavens, a Mr. Fix-It prototype that can right all wrongs and reset the clock to where carbon emission levels are equal to what they were on the night the Star of Wonder led the Magi to Bethlehem. T.S. Eliot once said, "Humankind cannot bear very much reality." David Orr paraphrased this. He said, "Humans are more ignorant than they are smart, and many seem to prefer it that way."